So with these social media networks, there's a lot of noise. On Twitter, you've got Twitter and Twitter Spaces, and Instagram, you got Instagram Live, you got stories, you got, you know, and so it's just like segmentation of channels. What do you think about those, and how do you feel like teams with limited resources should approach these multi channels?
So again, I think any of these channels for me are about filling the funnel with opportunities. So again, I want to know what percentage people that hit that funnel convert. And then I want to know how much the lifetime value of that customer is. What are they worth if they do convert? And then once I have those numbers, I can figure out what I can afford to spend on Facebook. Facebook has gotten really expensive. Like I'm seeing 4, 5, $6 a lead. The question is, how many of those do you need to convert a sale? How much is that sale worth? That'll help you figure out how much you can afford to spend on that channel. If what you're asking me is, hey, how do I, use paid to get more followers on Facebook? I don't know. I mean, that's not really what I'm focused on doing. I'm not focused on just building the Facebook group or just building that community as a be all end all. I'm focused on how I can move people from that channel onto my own media platform where I can cement the relationship at home, because I'm dubious of any third party platform that I am going to have to depend on to have access to my customers. Today, they may be the best friend of small business, but once they become dominant in the market, they're going to change their practice. So I think it's really important to be sensitive to where a social network or online marketplace for that matter is in their corporate evolution. Are they a startup? Are they a change up looking for product market fit? Are they a scale up, or are they a grown up? Once they're a grown up, they're going to become very aggressive, and I'm going to have to pay for access to my customers. So I'm always looking for ways to try to move that audience off of the third party network onto my own platform where I have access to the customer data.
Which step of the pirouette have you seen people botch most often outside of analytics?
Social, social, because everyone sees, as I said, when they have their arms up, when the ballerina has her arms up and she's spinning, that's what's so glorious, right? You don't
Mhm.
think about what she did to get prepared, how she built strength, how she got focus, how she found her access. You just see her getting the recognition of her admirers. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. That is socials. The fourth step. First, own, find your balance and stability. Then shared social media, focus on find your like-minded community, push off, find your access, and spin. That would be earned media. That's when you're getting everyone's attention. And then you come down, you land gently, paid media. People botch social the most because they come to this world of digital marketing and they think, oh, these people are getting all this attention on Facebook or TikTok or Clubhouse or Substack. This is fabulous. I need to go there and create a community without doing the preparatory work of thinking about how you're going to convert that community into an opportunity by building a funnel and getting your automation in place and getting your analytics in place first, and then building some community, right? You just go straight to it. And I think that's the biggest mistake that people make, because what happens is they build this community and then they get some engagement, but then they don't make any money. And so if you look at the people that are really making money on social media, like the people that really killing it, it's probably, I think, 0.01% are actually making money. The rest of the people are just creating content for free for YouTube to sell it to advertisers. Maybe they're making pennies, but there's millions and millions of creators. So I want you to be really dubious when you hear this pitch of, oh, be a YouTube star, be an online influencer. That's a business opportunity. You could be a content entrepreneur. You could be a content creator. It's really tough to make money at that. But if you're a small business and you're trying to build a small business product or service through digital, socials, what I see botched the most, because people run to social without having a way to benefit from that traffic.
How should they adapt? And then do you think that it's creating people who think that this is easier than it is?
That's always been the case ever since there's been, I think, medicine men with selling snake oil. There's been people who, look, we want easy, man. Everybody just wants ease of use. That's why software that dominates a category wins. It's because it's the
Mhm.
easiest software. Whatever's the easiest tends to win. And so if I'm facing a million different options for digital marketing and I don't know which way to go, and you come to me with certainty and you say, hey, I can help you. Look at all the followers I have. I'm going to help you build your business. It's really simple. That's very intoxicating. And there's a lot of folks out there, I think, that offer really generic advice that's not really, doesn't seem to me really that useful. But I mean, they're doing great. They're making, they have 7-figure businesses, consulting and selling courses. And maybe for someone who's brand new to this, coming right off the boat to social media or to digital media, maybe there is some value there. I mean, I don't see it. It takes time to build a business online. It takes time to build a funnel, right? And I would say for a small business that's doing this on a budget, I would expect them to spend 6 to 12 months getting their funnels, getting their own media presence. That's what we're looking at, a year, 6 months to a year, depending on the resources. And then I would imagine another 6 months to a year to build your social. And then another 6 months to a year to get some inbound links from top sites through earned media. And then probably another 6 months to a year to layer paid on top of that once you have some certainty and some analytics around what works and what doesn't. And people don't want to hear that. No one wants to hear, oh, I don't have 4 years. Forget it. Let's buy this course. So for some people, maybe setting the bar high and just coming out blazing can work. But I think if it's a coordinated effort with a group of people involved, a sequenced, measured approach over the long run, I think is probably going to perform better.
I think that what I find is that folks, like you said, they don't want to hear that it's going to take a while to grow. They want to judge the results of the campaign before they had any sort of growth, had any sort of base of audience. And then they're also judging new channels very quickly. So they're saying, I'm not a fit for that channel, or they don't give it even a fair shot for any one reason. Another thing you had mentioned,
over concerned with channels. I don't think channels matter that much. I think it's more the content. So when it comes to picking a channel, I say pick a channel based on how you communicate best. If you're good on camera, do video. If you're good talking, do audio. If you're good writing, do writing. If you're good with images, do images. It's not that important. You're going to find your customers are everywhere now because this stuff is all ubiquitous. So it's more important, I think, to focus, on getting the right message to the right people. And like what you guys do at MarketMuse, you're all about giving people the brief so that they know what words they should be using, what subjects they should be talking about, what the expectations of the customers are. It doesn't really matter if they're talking about it in a podcast or in a YouTube video or in a white paper. What's I think most important is matching your communications capabilities to the format, because you're going to find your audience on all these formats now.
Totally. That is worth the price of admission today. It's do the stuff that you can be prolific and apply your expertise to the best.
So you don't have to do all this stuff yourself. There is a global talent pool of these sort of digital nomads that are really good at this, that can help you and aren't that expensive.
And that's a great idea. And that's great for repurposing strategy. And that's, for example, if you're just hot on the microphone or on the camera and you're making these high quality videos, and ask yourself, is any of this making it into content on my site, or am I just posting YouTube embeds or the equivalent? If you're limiting yourself because you can't get to the other things that you just want to repurpose, there are people who will do that and be very effective at that. I think that's a great way to think about it. Another question from Christian, what do you recommend for diving deeper into basic funneling and building for a startup setup? So I'm going to assume lead funnel or purchase funnel would be where they're at.
Assuming that you were working within WordPress, I build them from scratch. It's basically a series of pages that link to each other with forms. For forms, I like a product called Gravity Forms because it integrates with Stripe if you want to do e-commerce. It integrates with a number of different CRMs. I use a product called Zoho, so I can bring content right in there from Zoho. So I use this, and I think it's really important. Of all the tools you're choosing when you're building a funnel, the tool you choose to power your forms is critical, because there's a game of cat and mouse going on between the guys that are trying, or girls that are trying to hack your site and the people who create the forms that wind up on websites that take information in. That's a point of attack because it's an injection point. And what happens is they'll put in commands into the fields rather than their name and their email in an attempt to try to hack into your site. And of course, if they're unsuccessful, you get a bad registration to your email list. And then if you start sending a lot of emails out to those bad email addresses, it could have an impact on the deliverability of your campaigns because now you're sending out all these emails that bounce. So it's really important that you get the right one in there. And I like gravity forms for that.